Can somebody take me back to when life was simple? When I was little and my biggest fear was a pimple. I'm a kitten disguised as a pit bull, because now I lie awake, I shake and I tremble. My thoughts are scary, I swear that I'm mental. Crying alone, a pistol to my temple. One squeeze to silence the noise. Take me back to basketball and army men for toys. Grew up to be Ken, married to Barbie, and it annoys, because people look at my life and my wife and think that it's perfect. I contemplate suicide and wonder if it's worth it. You think I should be worshipped, I think that I'm worthless. You hear my lyrics and wonder how I word it. Became a fan the first time that you heard it. I'm therapy for you, to myself I'm a burden. If there's one thing I know for certain, freedom comes from pulling back the curtain. I'm bipolar, depressed, adulterer who daydreams about time machines, because I'd punch in 2003 and I'd just leave. And I'd go back to when I was a kid on Beechwood Drive, playing with my brother and sister outside. The only time in my life that I felt alive. I didn't have the weight of the world on my shoulders. My thoughts become dark every day I get older. I love you, Jamie. Was 15 the first time that I told her. Worried I'd leave her, so I'd lay there and hold her. Don't worry, Jamie, life will be great. Took her one town over on our first date. Wish I could go back, but it's too late. The devil dangled lust in my face and I ate that bait. A different girl on my chest every time that I'd wake. The shame made me shake, the pain made me ache. Never thought as a kid it was her heart that I'd break. Shame from my past, it's too hard for me to take. Our second home was a cottage on a lake. She was an angel and I was a fake. So many times I wanted to tie a cinder block around my waist and jump into those waves. I wore a mask with a smile to hide my face. The neighbors would say hi and I'd just wave. Nobody knows how badly I craved the grave. Gave Jamie the world, but I could never give her me. I was too lost in my depression, getting sunk in the seas. And eventually I broke down from the guilt, so I'd escape for a break with another pop pill. The man in the mirror I wanted to kill, and I still do. But she was with me in the good times and pulled me out of the gloom. She'd find me curled up in a panic alone in our room. I didn't know what was wrong with me at the time. You all look at my blue eyes but ignore my blue mind. That pistol to my temple, I almost blew mine. But instead I blew time, and I can't get that back. But I'm fighting to get better. Jamie said she'd help me if I'd let her. I did, and then we found out that I'm bipolar. And when I was diagnosed, I cried on her shoulder. I knew I was different, but I didn't know why. One day I'd be inspiring the masses, the next day I'd want to die. I'd stand on stages and God would speak through me. So many changed lives because of how He used me, but people used me too. And then spread rumors about me that were far from the truth. And the only thing that saved me was Jesus and Jamie. A devil on the shoulder and a demon on the other. But I got God inside of me and He's got me covered. I'm really a sheep in wolf's clothing, misunderstood as I suffer. Don't know which Clayton I'll get when I wake up and pull back the covers. But I find my peace in red letters and spread it to others. I'm just thankful I have all of you as my sisters and brothers. I'm gonna survive this, and so are you. Just don't follow me, follow God to get through. I know that so many of you are struggling too. So please don't give up on me, because I never gave up on you. I read your messages, you just don't know it. I started in Genesis, ended in Exodus, and then I closed it. Tried to read the Bible again from beginning to end. I felt so convicted by all of my sins. I look at Judas and we could be twins. He sold Jesus for silver, I've sold him for sense. Sin over my Savior, it makes no sense. And the regrets overwhelm me, the guilt is immense. There's no middle ground with God, but I've been on the fence. Covered in mud, God, I need rinsed. Frozen then frenzied, God, I need friends. More importantly, a Savior. Beyond ashamed of my behavior. Clayton Michael Iscariot, I told you I'm a traitor. Here's a tip for you like you're a waiter. Go to God, don't wait till later. I don't know what you've done, but God's grace is greater. He forgives and He forgets, His love doesn't waver. Sex was my vice, never cared how I played her. One night stands with no plans to date her. You gonna text me? Sure, catch you later. Jezebel Jennings, to this day I still hate her. I walked around in black like a fan of the Raiders. haters. I walk around trapped by the words of my haters. I'm bitter and it shows, broken and brittle to the bones. A week in the closet, I slept there alone. Jamie could hear me crying and I turned off my phone. I felt like dying, I've never been so low. 70 degrees, but I felt frozen in snow. My psychiatrist tried to help me, but couldn't. My therapist wanted more sessions, I wouldn't. My family wanted me to admit myself. I knew God was the answer, I just didn't want to admit myself. I used to be strong, man, I miss my health. I'm bipolar and my guilt made it worse. Mania is a gift, these lows are a curse. I couldn't take it anymore. I was laying there shaking on the bathroom floor. Suicide, dead inside, I went back and forth. Xanax for relief, so I'd go back for more. Big Pharma is a pimp, pills their whore. I got so mad at myself that I spit and I swore. I wasn't made for this, God, you made me for more. Help me, Jesus, I need you now. I feel so down, I'm going to drown. I was lost.